Good morning, students. Today we are going to a new chapter, Language of Chemistry. The language of chemistry. You know that people around you speak in different languages. Some may speak English, Hindi, and some may speak Punjabi, Bengali, and others in Spanish, French, and so on. There are a number of different languages. Normally, the basic structure of all the language remains the same. We can start with alphabets. From alphabets, the alphabets combine to give words, and the words combine to form substance. So, like this language, chemistry has a separate language, and it is a separate branch of science, has its own language. This language is known as language of chemistry. So, like all languages start with the alphabet, the language of chemistry starts with the chemical symbols. We will see what these chemical symbols are. Okay? Students, so you consider a name Diljit, we can call him TJ shortly. It is because it is easier to remember and recall, since DJ is a short name. Similarly, in chemistry, there are 180 non-elements discovered so far. All those have big names. So, to use them again and again to write them again and again, it becomes really difficult process. So, for this means we use short form. This short form is known as symbols, chemical symbols. Okay, a symbol is the short form of an element. A symbol represents one atom of an element. A symbol represents one atom of an element. It is the element itself. For example, hydrogen can be represented as H, boron can be represented as B, carbon can be represented as C, and nitrogen can also represented as N, oxygen O, fluorine F, K, potassium, and so on. Okay, next one is the chemical formula represents the atoms in a molecule of an element. Their plural name is formulae, F-U-R-M-U-L-A-E. Chemical formula of an element can be written as symbol along with the numbers of atoms present in one molecule. That means chemical formula of oxygen gas is O2. It represents that two oxygen atoms are present in one molecule of oxygen. Similarly, the chemical formula of ozone gas we already discussed in the last chapter, O3, that is 3 oxygen atoms. It represents that 3 atoms of oxygen are present in one molecule of ozone. Okay, this is the chemical formula of element. Here nitrogen 1 atom and in molecule 2 atom. The N2 is represented here, N2, O2, H2, P4, 4 phosphorus molecule are there. Okay. Next one is chemical formula of a compound can be written by writing the symbols of H and O, different constituting element along with the number of atoms that element present in one molecule of a compound. Here 2 hydrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom. We can writing the symbols of different constituting elements along with the number of atoms of that element present in one molecule of a compound. Another example is chemical formula of ammonia is NH3. Here 1 nitrogen atom and 3 hydrogen atoms are combined. It represents that 1 atom of nitrogen and 3 atoms of hydrogen are present in one molecule of ammonia. Similarly, the chemical formula of water H2O, which represents that 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen are present in one molecule of water. Okay. Next, chemical reactions and equations. Consider A, B, C, D, and E. They were 5 happy people. One day, A met B and they realized that they had a lot of things in common. They liked each other's company, so they became friends and they started staying together. Similarly, C, D, and E, they also met and they also realized that they could become good friends and started saying, as a group. Something like this happens in chemistry. A reaction in which two or more different substances combine to form a single substance. For example, in our textbook page number 42, when a coal burns in oxygen to form carbon dioxide. Coal means carbon. When carbon burns in oxygen, it forms carbon dioxide. So two different substances coal, that is carbon and oxygen, they combine to form a single new substance. In a chemical reaction, a reactant is a substance that changes to another substance is called a product. Okay. In a chemical reaction, a reactant is a substance and that changes to another substance is called a product. Okay. A chemical reaction is a process that leads to the transformation of one set of chemical substance to another. Okay. In a chemical equation, we mentioned the reactants on the left hand side and the products are on the right hand side with the arrow in between them. Reactants gives product. These reactants and products represented by their symbols and formulae. That is, C plus O2 gives CO2. We can write it like in our text. Look, carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. An equation using only words is called a word equation. An equation using word. C plus O2 gives CO2 is an equation, and by using the words carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide. That word we can use at that time, it is called a word equation. Okay. Here H2 plus O2 gives H2O. In word equation, this is formula equation and we can convert it into word equation. Hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas gives water. We know hydrogen and oxygen are gas. So hydrogen gas plus oxygen gas gives water. Generally, two or three reactants take part in a chemical reaction. But a chemical reaction may involve only one reactant too. Which case? For example, H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, when being heated, breaks into water and oxygen. Similarly, limestone, the formula is CaCO3, on being heated gives quicklime and carbon dioxide. Such type reactions called a decomposition reaction. That means it involves only one reactant each. Okay. Through the product may be two or more. Here reactant is only one, but the product is two. Okay. And one more example is that being heated, baking soda, sodium, that is sodium hydrogen carbonate, which on heating, this triangle represents the heating. It decomposes to sodium carbonate and water and carbon dioxide. This is an example of reaction involving one reactant and three products. Here the reactant is 1 and the product is 3. Okay. Okay. Next topic, law of conservation of mass. That means in a chemical reaction, the product is always equal to the mass of the reactants. Okay. Here no atoms can be destroyed and no new atoms are produced during a chemical reaction. Instead, the atoms in the reactants are simply rearranged to form product. That means, in a chemical reaction, here I am giving an example. Here two hydrogen molecule and again two hydrogen atoms. Here two oxygen atoms. That means two molecule of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen. Totally 6 atoms. We can convert it into another 6 atoms with a different arrangement. That means you can see that here this hydrogen bond is broken and this also broken, and here oxygen molecule is broken and form. Here a new bond is formed, here a new bond is formed, here a new bond, and here also a new bond is formed. That means the number of atoms in the left side is equal to number of atoms in the right side. That means mass of atoms in the left side is equal to the mass of atoms in the right side. That means no atoms can destroyed. No atoms are destroyed and no new atoms are produced during a chemical reaction. And the reactants only what happened there, broken bonds are broken and new bonds are formed. In left side bonds are broken and in right side bonds are formed. This is the only things there happen. Okay, so no atoms destroyed, only rearrangement will happen. Okay. Okay, next our topic is what are the conditions necessary for a chemical reaction. A chemical reaction takes place when one or more of the following conditions are fulfilled. Under what conditions the reactions take place is mentioned on the arrow in the reaction. For example, if a substance, you take page number 43 in your textbook. If a substance A react with a substance B at 500 degrees Celsius temperature and 8 atmospheric pressure to give the substance C and D, we can write the equation A plus B gives C plus D. That is, here the temperature and pressure are mentioned on the arrow. The name, symbol or formula of the catalyst, if any, it is also mentioned on the arrow. Catalyst is a substance that generally speed up a reaction but itself remains unchanged. Okay, catalyst is a substance which generally speed up a reaction but itself remains unchanged. I am giving an example. Some reactions need a catalyst to speed up a reaction. For example, manganese dioxide act as a catalyst for the decomposition of potassium chloride into potassium chloride. This is the formula of potassium chloride, KClO3. This triangle represents heating and MnO2 is a catalyst. It's a reagent, it's a catalyst. It acts as a catalyst for the decomposition, means for the breaking of these elements. These atoms can breaking, it will helps to MnO2. Okay. Manganese dioxide acts as a catalyst for the decomposition of potassium chloride into potassium chloride, KCl potassium chloride plus O2 oxygen molecule. Okay. Manganese dioxide does not undergo any change in its chemical reaction. That is, a catalyst is a substance which changes the rate of the chemical reaction without itself undergoing any chemical change. Here the MnO2 is the byproduct here. That means MnO2 remains unchanged. They didn't take any change. Okay. Next, another example given in our textbook is hydrogen peroxide, H2O2, which slowly gets converted into H2 and oxygen if they are left alone, but in the reaction take place quickly in the presence of manganese dioxide. If we are taking some manganese dioxide add into the hydrogen peroxide, it will decompose to form water and oxygen by speedily. Okay, that means the reaction speed is increased and the byproduct is also manganese dioxide. The manganese dioxide is a catalyst for the reaction. Okay. Next, making chemical equations more informative. If we needed, the colors and state of the reactant and product are written within the small bracket below their names. Chemical equations can easily be characterized by certain changes which are easily observed. Some of those are: one is change of color. In some chemical reaction, the color of the reactant is changed. Here you can see that copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. Copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate heating on 260 degrees Celsius. It is a blue crystalline solid. You can see it is a blue crystalline solid. When we are giving heat upon this, the copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate become copper sulfate plus water vapor. Okay, that is, the copper sulfate is white powdery and water vapor also is the byproduct. Okay, that means a color of the reactant is converted to product. The color of the reactant is blue and the color of the product is white. Here we can see the formula of copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate is CuSO4 5H2, which undergoing heating at 260 degrees Celsius. The blue crystalline solid become converted into a white powdery product, plus some water vapor will produce that white powdery copper sulfate. That is the color and state of the reactant and the product mentioned with them will produce more informative chemical equation. The color and state of the reactant and the product mentioned with the produce more informative chemical equations. And in the reaction, here some of the symbols and their explanation is given. Here this arrow shows it indicates the result of a reaction. Reactants gives product. This arrow we can use, and this is a reversible arrow. We can use it with in a forward and backward reaction. This will you learn in higher class. Within the bracket an S is observed. That means the reactant or product in solid state. They are giving additional information about the reactant and the product. That means they are in the solid form. Within the bracket there is an L. Reactant and product are in the liquid state. If the reactant and product is in aqueous solution, that means if we take some sodium salt, we can dip it in water. That means we can dissolve it in water. That time aqueous we can represent within the bracket AQ. And G we know reactant and product in the gas form. And this downward arrow represents the precipitate formation. We will learn this in next module. Okay, here you just remember that this is the formation of precipitate. And triangle we already said that it is represents heating. Okay, and what is precipitate? What do you mean by precipitate? Actually, precipitate is nothing but in a solid that separate when a solution is added to another. A solid that separates when a solution is added to another. For example, in some chemical reaction when two solutions are mixed, an insoluble solid is known as precipitate. I am giving an example. Barium chloride, BaCl2. Barium chloride is a solution, and sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. Sodium sulfate is also a solution. We can add some barium chloride to sodium sulfate to solution. That time in the figure you can see that barium sulfate will form. That means if we are adding one solution to another solution, there is a white solid will form. That is the precipitate. Okay, that is here barium sulfate is the precipitate. Here I am giving another example of law of conservation. Here you can see that 6 molecule of hydrogen and 3 molecule of oxygen that combine to form 6 molecule of water. That means you can count here the number of atoms in the left side is equal to the number of atoms in the right side. That is, atoms neither be created and not destroyed, only rearrangement will happen. Next, knowing the atoms rearrange themselves in a chemical reaction, we can understand that the reaction involves breaking up of the reactant molecule and making of the product molecule. The energies involved in the two steps are not equal. The bond breaking time and bond making time, the two energies evolve. The energies will evolve. The energies involved in the two reaction, the two steps are not equal. So overall reaction either release or absorb energy. In most of the case, energy is absorbed. Here, we are cooking food. That time, the energy is absorbed. Energy is absorbed or given out in the form of heat. However, in many cases, here light is also absorbed or given out. A reaction in which heat is absorbed is called endothermic reaction. A reaction in which heat is evolved is called an exothermic reaction. Here the energy is released in the form of heat, light and sound when we are burning a wood in a campfire. Okay, here the heat is absorbing, here the heat is releasing. Okay, endothermic and exothermic reaction. During digestion, food is broken down into simpler substance. For example, rice, potatoes and bread contain carbohydrate. These carbohydrates are broken down into form glucose. This glucose combines with oxygen in the cells of our body and they provide energy to us. This is an example of endothermic reaction too. Okay.